And tonight we're going to hear from Ivan. Ivan lives in Hawaii. Thank you so much for joining us. You're in Hawaii, so we understand the time. What time is it there?
Right now it is 2:49 p.m.
Okay, good. Not 2 in the morning, right? Okay. I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to wake up the wife. All righty. So let's talk about this. So tell us about you and your wife and your background, and let's get started. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Ivan Lopez. I'm married to my wife, Raquel Lopez. We live on the island of Maui in Hawaii. Between us, we have one son. His name is Alika, and he lives in Las Vegas right now. He's a bartender. We don't have any background. We come from very humble beginnings. I work in the hospitality industry, and my wife works in the retail industry. We're just your normal, average, blue-collar worker. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Awesome. So no real estate background, joined in 2022. How did you find Lifestyles? If you're in Hawaii, we're in Texas. How did that happen?
It's a long story, but I'll keep it short. So my brother works for the natural gas company in Houston, and he was servicing a client, and the house was beautiful that he was at. So he asked the gentleman, "What do you do for a living?" And the gentleman actually shared a story of how Lifestyles changed his life.
Wow.
My brother told me about it, and I said, "Hey, go and tell Leah about it. She's the smartest one out of all of us. She's our baby sister." He told my sister about it, and she was so intrigued, she joined. So she's a preferred member. She told me about it again, and then I said, "You know what? Why don't you give it a try and just let me know, how it goes." Fast forward about several months later, she calls me up and she's like, "Ivan, you need to join Lifestyles. It is amazing. They teach you everything that you need to know about real estate. You get your own mentors." And then she said, she's very smart. She told me, "I'm going to send you a case study. Promise that you're going to watch it and call me back as soon as you're done." I watched the case study. It was a case study just like this. And I was blown away. I was hooked. I called her right back and I said, "How do I join?" And here we are today.
Oh, awesome. So shout out to your sister. She was a member and she referred you. Is she doing really well as well? Is she doing good?
She only invests in passive deals.
Only in passive deals? Awesome. That sounds amazing. And I love this how you answered this question. We asked you, why did you join Lifestyles? And you had said a story about how you had to work a lot, which resonated a lot with me. And I remember, my situation as well. And your son said, "Can you please be here for one of the holidays," right?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. I'd like to share this story. It goes something like this. I've worked hard my whole life, sacrificing weekends, late nights, and holidays, everything that you can think of. It's part of my job. And if you work in the hospitality industry or in any industry where you have to work holidays, you guys get it. You miss Thanksgiving dinners, you miss Christmas mornings, we miss New Year's Eve celebrations. But there was one New Year's Eve that really changed everything for me. It was 12 o'clock. I was working. My family was at home celebrating. The clock struck 12, and everybody around me at work was clinking glasses. They were cheering. They were wishing each other a Happy New Year's. But inside, truly, I felt empty because I wasn't with the people that I love the most. And just a minute after midnight, around 12:01, my phone rang, and it was my son. I could hear it in his voice. Before he said a word, he was crying. Sorry. It's a hard story to share.
You're okay.
But he told me that, he told me, "Dad, I love you. Me and Mom, we appreciate everything that you do for us. I know you're working hard, and I know you're doing it for us, but I don't want you to miss another New Year's celebration." At that moment, my heart shattered. Here I was working hard to provide for my family, yet missing out on the very moments that matter the most. I promised my son that night that next year I wouldn't be here. I'd be with them for that day. I can't say that everything changed right away. You know, life has its own timing. God has different plans for me and my son, but that moment became the few. And every time I think of giving up or just staying stagnant, I remember that call. I remember my son's voice and his wish for us to be together. And it makes me stay disciplined. So to answer the question, I joined Lifestyles not only to invest in properties, but to invest in the moments that matter the most. Because to me, true wealth is having the freedom to never miss them again. It's a hard story for me to share, but just like your story and Chris's story, it resonates, I think, with a lot of people. So thank you guys for allowing me to share it.
Yes, thank you for sharing that with us. I think a lot of us can relate to that. That's very powerful, and we really appreciate that. I definitely agree. So you joined Lifestyles, and you got, how long from when you joined to when you got into your first investment?
Right, I thought I joined in April, but April was when we actually purchased the first property. So I think we joined more like January of 2022. So it only took about 3 months and we were in the first property already.
Okay, so a few months, all the way from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Ivan, so all of us here, we're in San Antonio, and we have a 2-day seminar this weekend. It starts at 8 or 8:30? 8 o'clock in the morning, which is early, right, guys? We hate waking up early, especially when it's cold and our blankets are warm. But you're in Hawaii, so tell us how you did that, because the timing is way different.
Right. Well, I heard that Dave's 2-day is amazing. So I signed up for his 2-day, and I had to wake up at 3 a.m. And during that 2-day, it was amazing. It was just amazing for me.
Wait, hold on. Let me stop you. So you set your alarm to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch David Fisher do a video 2-day seminar. Okay, guys.
That is correct.
That's why he's successful and some people aren't, you know? You know what I mean? That's amazing. Give him a round of applause. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, let's jump into it. So you bought a property. So was this one your second one or your first one?
So this is the second one. We just closed on this one, finished the whole rehab in October 31st.
Okay. Awesome. So we're looking at a before and after, and it looks like a huge transformation. Tell us, so you were in Hawaii managing this renovation project. How did that work out? I mean, did you ever come to, this property's in Houston, so did you ever fly out to Houston to walk it, to make sure it was perfect before you bought it, or how did you handle that process?
No, I've never seen any of my properties. I actually just saw this one because I flew up there a couple of weeks ago. So I just saw this with my own 2 eyes. The other property, I've never seen it at all. The craftsmanship on this property was amazing. But to manage it, I found everybody off the vendors list, and they were highly recommended from other Lifestyles members like myself. And it's just, you're always in touch with the general contractor, and you're always in touch with your mentor as well, should anything arise. So that's how I did it. It's literally as simple as that.
Awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, it looks beautiful. Wow. Huge transformation. The one on the left looks like a tear down. The one on the right almost looks like a brand new house.
It does.
I mean, that is phenomenal. And I don't know if you chose the colors, but I love the black and white. I know that's a big thing nowadays. We're looking at some of your before and afters. So walk us through the rehab. How much was the rehab budget on this project?
Right. So the rehab budget was about $100K.
100K. Wow.
It was the holding cost that kind of took us a little bit over. This was an old house. I think it was like 1930 something. And I know people that don't touch anything under 1950, but this was 1930, so we knew we had to do everything on it. The numbers at first that my realtor sent me looked great. And then, you know, when our ARV coming around 300 was amazing, so we were able to push that much into the property and do such a big rehab. But we shouldn't have any problems at all for, I'm hoping, 10 years.
Yeah, so 100K rehab. So you guys did everything, right? Roof, floor, paint,
Yeah.
looks like new cabinets. Wow. Oh, the bathroom's beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job. So you managed the rehab from Hawaii. How long did the rehab take? 100K rehab. Did that take like a year?
You know, when I spoke with my general contractor, they said they could do it in 3 to 4 months. What had happened was the day that we closed and we got funded from hard money, the first hurricane hit Houston. So
Oh, gosh.
it pushed us back. Yeah, it pushed us back a bit. And then the second one came around as well. So this one pushed us by the time we closed, it was 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a 100K renovation,
Yeah.
an ocean away from your property. So good job on that. Now, pictures are great, and the house is pretty, but we all know it's all about the numbers, right, guys? So let's look at the numbers. Okay, so purchase price, 100K, rehab, 100K, but it's worth 300,000. Closing costs, holding costs, all that, around 12,000. And that puts you with 65,822 of unrealized equity. That is amazing. And you only spent 22,000 and some change to purchase this project? Wow.
That is correct.
That is a sweet deal. So you rented it for 2,200. So that's cash flowing 194, which gives you a 10% cash on cash return and a 297% return on equity. Give him a hand. That is amazing. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I don't think the bond market, I don't think Bitcoin, right? I think that that's a pretty good return on investment compared to all the other things that are out there. And plus, your resident is paying down your mortgage and appreciation is happening. So this is just the first year, right? He hasn't owned this even a year yet. So that's fantastic. Tell us about your leasing. So how did you find your residents to rent this place?
Yeah, so I'm going through a leasing company, 360. They're actually the property managers of my other single family home as well. So I'm using them and they're able to find the tenants.
Okay, so he's got property management. He's in Hawaii, so it makes sense, right? There's a little bit of a time difference. I have a couple Hawaii members that I help, and they manage it themselves. So we will teach you to manage it yourself if you want to learn that route, or you can hire a property management, and we have those on the vendors list as well. So you mentioned you have 2 properties, which is, you're off to a hot start. Amazing. So let's look at the numbers. Property number 2. So with the cash flow from both properties, it's right over $7,000 a year, tax deferred passive income, and you've got 112 unrealized equity in those houses already. That is awesome. Great job. That's fantastic. And you're off to a great start. Amazing start. Do you plan to buy in San Antonio?
I do actually. We were guaranteed to buy another one in a couple of months. I just wanted to wait until everything settles down. But yeah, I do want to buy in San Antonio as well.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you know who to reach if you need help in San Antonio. We definitely got your back here. Again, guys, we've got mentors out of the Houston market, the Dallas market. We have a national team. We've got members buying in lots of areas around the U.S. So feel free to reach out to our mentors, depending what market you're looking for. And then we asked you, how has your life changed? Now, you've only got 2 deals. However, only 2 deals is amazing. These are fantastic. I mean, you're off to a fantastic start. but it's given you a different outlook on life, right? And now you guys can talk about money, and you said that maybe your son might be getting into it, right?
Yeah, I think everybody in the household knows that this is the way that we got to go. We got to get into real estate. So we all know we got the plan, and we're just, we're working, we're saving, and we're investing. But yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you to Lifestyle.
That is amazing. That's what I love about this, right? Because like I said, we're teaching our 18-year-old kids. My little girl's only 15 months, and as soon as she can talk, we're going to start talking about properties, just like you. It's in our household. So I love that. Absolutely amazing. So you're definitely not stopping there, right? Short-term goals, you want to pick up a few more. Are you picking up a few more this year, or are you going to start again next year?
Well, 2025.
Okay.
We wanted to grab 2 more, but you know what? I'm thinking we'll do 1 more rehab, then I'll upgrade to the preferred, learn everything about that, maybe possibly do lead. The end result is always to get into apartments and maybe possibly do an IRO as well. But yeah, the end result is always apartments. So definitely upgrading to the preferred.
Awesome, and I'm more than confident you can do that. That's the amazing thing about lifestyles. You can start with just a house, get your toe wet, but you can go all the way up to multifamily, and Joe's going to talk a little bit about his experience with multifamily stuff. So awesome. So let's give a shout out to some people on your team, your mentors, Isaac Martinez and Joe Flores, and your agent, which is Moon Kim out of Houston. So that's awesome. And then tell us about some of the vendors you utilized.
Yeah, so I got Boost Foundation. I found them on top of the vendors list. I have Dorothy, who is my insurance agent, on top of the vendors list. Pat is amazing. I can call Pat in 10 hours and he'll be there at the property. He's amazing. He's my inspector. My general contractors is J&W, and they do phenomenal work.
Awesome.
And very quick, and it's still beautiful work that they turn out. So and everybody was found on the vendors list.
So you've got your team set. So you're just going to use the same team again on the next one, right? Make it easy.
Yes.
So you guys in Houston, well, I know you don't live there, but you guys who buy in Houston, you have a Pat. Us in San Antonio, we have a Kevin. Kevin, say hi. So he's our inspector that shows up on Saturday sometimes, Kevin? We love Kevin. So awesome. Thank you so much, Ivan. This is amazing. We're so inspired by your story, and thank you for being and logging in and joining us virtually. I think we're going to go to questions.
Yep.
So we've got some people online, and we've got a crowd here in person. Any questions for Ivan?
He knocked it out of the park, man. He did so good, no one's got a question.
Well, awesome. Thank you so
that
much.
was my favorite part.
Oh, one question?
Oh, we do have a question. Russ.
Hey, cuz, where do you stay in Maui? I go to Maui all the time.
Oh, he wants to know where in Maui you're at. He wants a free place to stay.
He wants to know where you live in Maui.
I'm in Wailuku, so you know what? You can always hit up the ambassador. They'll share my information. If you're a Lifestyles member, contact me. I love meeting Lifestyles members that come to Hawaii. Call me anytime. I'll meet up with you.
Awesome. Love that. We're just a big family over here, right? Well, awesome, Ivan. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I'm sure this is not the last we'll hear from you. We definitely want to hear as you keep working through it on your journey. And thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.